Hi, fifth graders, it's Mrs. Compton. It's been a while since we've seen each other, so I thought we could do a number talk together. Now, I want to remind you, a number talk is done all mentally, and you're thinking about really strong strategies that you could use to solve this without having to write anything down. All right, so our question here today is going to be 12 and 1/10 minus 4 and 7/10. And I want everyone to hit pause so that you have enough time to give yourself for think time. And then when you're ready, you can unpause it or your teacher will unpause it if you're doing it together. All right, so hit pause. All right, so I would list some possible answers that you would give me. So I'm gonna guess that some of you will probably say the answer is 7 and 8/10. I'm also going to guess that some of you will say the answer is 7 and 4/10. That 7 was like huge. And maybe some of you would say the answer is 8 and 8/10. All right. So is there anything that you would like to rule out? Is there anything it cannot be? All right. So if I were thinking about this with you and looking at this, I'm going to guess that somebody would probably rule out 8 and 8/10. And I want you to think about what the mistake was that that person made that said the answer would be 8 and 8/10. So what would the mistake be? I'm guessing they subtracted for one part and then added for the next part. So 12 minus 4 is 8, and then maybe they added the 1/10 plus the 7/10. And we know we have to subtract all the way through, so that one's out. All right, so let's find out. Is it 7 and 8/10 or is it 7 and 4/10? All right, I'm gonna show you guys one strategy that I think you probably have in your head. So if each one of these is worth 1, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then this is 1/10 right here. Okay, so we've got 12 and 1/10, and we have to take off 4 and 7/10. So that's nice and easy for the beginning part because we have to take off 4, right? So 4 wholes come off. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So maybe you decided to do 12 and 1/10 minus 4 first, and you would get 8 and 1/10 left, right? But we still have to take off 7/10 more. So how will you do that? So let's see here. If I am thinking about this, this one is worth 10/10, right? So I'm going to put that there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8/10, 9/10, and 10/10, right? So that makes one whole. 10/10 makes one whole. And then also we've got this 1/10 right here. Okay, so we've already taken off the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But now we have to take off 7 more tenths. So we can just get rid of this one, right? So this one's out. That's 1/10 gone. 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10, 7/10 are gone. They're in my hand, right? So now let's count what we have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10. Okay, so we've got 7 and 4/10. Okay, so that's one way to think about it. So let's see if we can find another way. I'm trying to guess your strategies. I'm hoping I get a lot of your ways of thinking, but you can always tell me in the comments. I don't know. Sometimes I don't get kids' ways of thinking, and I like to learn new ways for myself and my strategy bank. So I'm going to guess that some of you may be thinking in negative numbers. Oops, I accidentally erased that. 7 and 4/10. So maybe you thought about it as, let's do this. 12 and 1/10 minus 4 and 7/10. So maybe you did the whole numbers first, kind of like last time. So 12 minus 4 equals 8. And then some people will say you can't do 1/10 minus 7/10, but you actually can. So if you have 1/10 and you subtract off 7/10, you get left with negative 6/10. So 1/10 minus 7/10 equals negative 6/10. I'm going to put that negative right there. Okay, so some of you probably are already thinking about this. Now, the question is, what do you do with it? Do you add 8 plus 6/10? Or do you add 8 plus a negative 6/10? Those are different things. Or do you do 8 minus 6/10? So let's find out. So we had 8 from the 12 minus 4, and 1/10 minus 7/10 was negative 6/10. So we could say 8 plus a negative 6/10, which is actually the same as 8 minus 6/10. Samesies, samesies. You would get 7 4/10. So it would actually check out. Maybe some of you did negative numbers. I don't know. I would love to hear from you in the comments. What did you do to solve this problem? And do you have another suggestion for me? All right, kids, I'll see you next time. Bye.